Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I want to welcome you to my channel, whether you are brand new, squeaky clean, new to the whole junk journal paper crafting genre, or whether you're an old hand and you just like to check in and maybe like my point of view or my delivery. I am thrilled to be doing this video. I have had, well, let's just say I've been thinking about mini stuff. And I was just, I was waiting for a business to open so that I could make a reservation for Valentine's Day. And I used that time to pre-sort some little teeny weeny things. I don't know if I should have maybe reached for tweezers, but sometimes tweezers are unwieldy too. So basically, and I'm sure not everything is going to be on screen at all times, I'll show you some of the things that I have pre-assembled here. And of course, I understand that I have way more here than we can possibly get to in one video. And I know that I didn't ask you to bring pajamas, so you're not going to be here all day and all night. So we have to kind of try to be smart about this. I will show you some options of, and again, you know, just because I have it, I understand that it doesn't mean that you have the same stuff. But it also means that now, once you see some of my ideas, you may be able to find some of these things in your own bags, boxes, drawers, whatever. Okay, so let us begin. So if you have a circle punch of any diameter, one of the good things to do is punch out circles, whether they're like this from a book, whether they are sort of more like a heavier weight. This might have been, well, I don't know what that was. Some of these, it seems like I have backed. And I've pre-selected some of these based on what I'm working on right now, which is both the blush-colored, excuse me, blush-colored journal, as well as I'm still, you know, working on the purple one. This looks like it's just something off a piece of scrapbooking paper. This is part of a digital, and of course the scale would be right for a mini. These, and you've seen these before, these are little skinny, little like chipboard pieces. These are some mini little tags. Now, I guess I should have looked in my tag drawer. This color is not the greatest for what we're doing, but it's here. Believe it or not, and I just randomly grabbed without looking, these were tiny little, like they're I don't know, plastic, vinyl, whatever. They're kind of shiny. These were little tiny Scrabble letters for a travel size Scrabble game, and probably 25 or 30 years old. If you saw the video where I was, oh, let me just say that this video is one of those that qualifies for several hashtags. Use it, don't store it. Saving time in the craft room. Making dangles. Whatever. So these things here, these flowers, leaves, these tiny little things came out of those punch out books that I had. Or wait, what are they called? Sort of those die cut books. Same thing here. These are more purpley. These are digitals that I printed years ago. And obviously printed, I don't know if they came this small or if I downsized them or what, but they are, I then cut around them with, those fancy edgers. So that's probably a nicer edge, to be honest, than this postage stamp one. But again, the color seems right, and I don't know that I've ever used them, so it's time to use them up. This is just one of several like this that I think, this might have been off scrapbooking paper. This is probably too big for today's project, so I'll set it aside. I'll put it with the blush journal. I think that this came off I don't think it doesn't look like I backed it, so I think this might have come off a dust jacket or something. I'll put these things out of sight here. These sewing machines don't have anything to do with what we're doing here, but I do try to put together stuff for a sewing journal. Believe it or not, now I did this during the 100-day project. I had thrifted a package of those very shiny gold seals, with the little jaggedy edge. And now those in themselves are not that useful, or at least I didn't think they were. So I coated this with gesso. I punched it in a size so that the little fringes, the little pointy edges came off, and then I stamped them. And I've been hoarding these because I love them so much. And I have many. Well, I have several more. I think I might have used up the whole package of gold stamps. And if I didn't, then I have misplaced it and really should look for them because I love this. These are kind of an interesting color. These came off items that I thrifted the other day in a bag sale. And I don't know, could they have made those numbers any more big and ugly? Probably not. Not without really trying. Look at that. Anyway, they already have, some of them have the hole already punched in them. So I thought that might work, like for the purple stuff. These are little corner stickers, but the color is right up my alley, so obviously I should be using those. Found this piece of old ledger that must have broken off a page. Here's another little tag. Oh, that's a chipboard thing. That can't use that without some work. These little mini frames, I picked them because the colors work. These are from a digital from Tina, Shabby Dabby Doodah. This, I think, is considered maybe not a domino. Anyway, a digital from somebody, as were these little guys. Oh, and these are just some wrapping paper tulips that I cut out with my square punch. So you can see that's not all. I looked through a little, and I have drawers and boxes all around me. These are obviously off a masterboard. They're pretty thick in themselves, but obviously I can make these colors work, so I should use those. This is something that I further zigzagged around, so that's a possibility. In a recent thrifting video, you'll see that I bought a stack of these I don't know, snack thingamajigs. So they would be sort of like a portion cup, I guess. And the color was incredible, so I took it apart, and of course, this and this could work very nicely. I didn't throw away the bottom, even though, because obviously I could punch out something, or I could tear something and make it a shape and a size that I want it to be. The weight, of course, is good. Sometimes, you know, tearing goes better than others. Don't really like those sharp little points. I hope that you are well. I hope that by the time, I hope that you've either paused the video and gone to collect your mini little things, or you do so after the video or whatever, because there is nothing quite as satisfying as making those itty bitty things. Now, as I'm making these dangles, this is the day after the videotape, or the video aired about where I showed all my mini and micro mini journals. I didn't realize there were that many. I love them all, and I'm hoarding them all. Because I have these ongoing projects, though, I did want to go through this. I also have near me my little drawer. You know, first of all, when I got into this whole game here, I would see people talking about bulb pins, garment pins, gourd pins, and I thought, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I'm not one of those people that rushes straight to Amazon to buy stuff. I prefer to buy it locally if I can. And I would go to a fabric store and I'd ask for bulb pins and they'd look at me funny. And I'd go to Michael's and I'd look around and they'd look at me funny. Anyway, you can tell that eventually I broke down and ordered some. So I have a few silver ones. I have some black ones. I mostly have sort of this aged bronze thing because I think it goes with virtually anything. So that's standing by. Now I also have this with this ribbon that could be used. Some odds and ends. Oh, some thrifted earrings. Save that. Some thread. I don't think I need those earring backs. Certainly they're never going to get on these ears. Some buttons. I finally went through my buttons. Now these are like back in the day when we had our shop, lace scraps, a bit of muslin, some bias tape, some fibers from a trim that Kim sent me. This is even a magnetic bookmark. Somehow I don't seem to be using it, so that could end up in the journal as well. Anyway, back in the day, one thing that was really popular was paper towel. So we, in our shop, sold paper towel prints, and my head apparently is not able to think in those terms, but my mom was very good at it and did countless paper towel pictures, you know, the kind where you've got the birds like the owl on the branch and where you're practically doing it feather by feather. A lot of florals. This was part of a floral one, so I had a lot of several of the same prints with holes cut in them because that's how paper towel worked. So I thought these couple of blossoms might work. This was a bracelet that I showed in a thrifted video. I haven't taken it apart yet, but it does have the ability, you can put a photo in there. So I'm going to take this out of here for the time being because we're not going to get to it. In fact, we're not going to get to most of this stuff, especially if I don't stop talking and start right now. This is avocado dyed cheesecloth. So let's begin. Oh, and I also have this pink fabric. Just, I think this was a lining or something. It's not really satiny, but let's just start. I have my art glitter glue, my Fabri-Tac, and my glue stick, my Yoo-Hoo, ready to go. I have my area protected with parchment paper. Oh, I should also, as I was looking through every little nook and cranny, I also found that I had thrifted, somewhere along the way, I had thrifted these letter type things that slide onto grow grain ribbon. And I have another piece of this pale pink. I obviously have bigger ones as well. I don't even know what this spells, if anything. This is on more like on a fake suede type thing, and the letters are bigger. So we're not going to do anything with these. I just sort of tried to tie a loose knot so that these things do not fall off. Now I do have others of, oh, looks like I was spelling hazel at one point. Anyway, I do have other loose ones that are the same size as those. So maybe just to get them out of the way, although, you know what, maybe I won't, because that's not what you came here for. Based on the letters that I have left here, though, I thought about snap. Now, I don't know, is snap always an insult, or is that just, I don't know. I could also do snappy, which, you know, is a different sort of word. But anyway, I will leave that for, this is a little bit like the word puzzles that I do on my phone every day to keep those synapses firing and ward off dementia. So let's begin. Now, maybe I should use these things. And I should probably pull in my little corner rounder here as well. So these are definitely sturdy enough, and the back is fine because I've already backed them, so that they would be ready to go without any additional work needed. And if it happens to, you know, bulb pins, as much as I was on the hunt for them, they aren't the easiest thing in the world to work with. You know, things are usually twisted and facing the wrong way, and sometimes you can't get it in just the right spot or whatever. But despite all that, we're still going to use them. And I do have this thing that I thrifted, tiny little punch, because that's all you need to get a bulb pin through. So we'll be doing that as we go along. Okay, so that has now this is, well, okay, what the heck. I'm probably going to cut that stitch. Maybe I should leave this one intact. I don't really want to cut the threads. Okay, so the whole concept here is, well, I should say that typically I punch my hole in the corner, but you know, usually the again, right hand, I poke it in the upper left hand corner, but that isn't what you need to do for sure. So let's, and I'm not going to take the time to ink anything because I don't think that is essential whatsoever. So let's just maybe begin making a bit of a pile. I mean, let's layer, because that's what a real journaler person would say. So maybe to make this more useful to me, in the current project, maybe I would do something like that. So, and that's, you know, again, it's not rocket science. It's just a matter of, you know, gathering up some elements that you like, that you think go well together. I wonder if that's, might not be sticky enough. And I honestly think, no, I'm not going to do it to you, but I honestly think, yoy, that I could do this all day long with the odd food and pee break. Because goodness knows there is no, I might have to re-punch that corner, but that's okay. Because there is so much to use, you can choose whatever style you wish. Incidentally, pre-punching the corner, or pre-shaping the corners is not a way to save time in the craft room if you do it too soon. Come on. Now, doesn't that already look better? Maybe I'll use all 6 of these up, and then we don't have to worry about them again. And just to show you that I can alter things a bit, I'm doing them in the opposite corners this time. The kid is versatile, hey, hey, hey. You know, there's a stereotype out there that says Canadians always end every sentence with eh, like EH and a question mark. My vocabulary is big enough that I don't have to do that, but hey, sometimes it just is called for. So now I like that flower there. That would probably end up being my focal point. So where do I want to do it on this instead? And I think that by taking the time and the by taking the time and effort to pre-assemble some stuff, either that you know you need to get rid of because you've had it for, you're celebrating your 4th anniversary together. So you could do it by how long you've had something and the need to finally get rid of it. Or you could do it by color. You could do it by theme, sort of maybe you are working on a grungy thing and you need to make some cute little things. So there are many ways. So let's just, now that's so lumpy. Maybe I'll wait and glue this one when I have my Fabri-Tac flowing. Let's add more elements to, okay, that one's waiting for glue. I could use some of these bits of lace, and this particular one came from that gorgeous stuffed box of goodies, whoa, from Kim. Now again, I could have cut it, but do we want you know, a definite cut edge? Maybe not. Now, because I was tearing it, look what this has done. So let's cut here now. Maybe let's put this over here. So I can, okay, I can get 3 more things out of this. You know, it's sort of like treating all your kids equally. And then I'll pull that off and add it to something. again, I'm not really paying that much attention to. Not that you can always tell either. Or, because this is fairly big, maybe I should just pile them all on the same one and have, you know, all these edges poking out and really kind of going you know, frilly-dilly. Maybe I will put that one there. Okay, so this guy's naked. What do we want to do there? We've got a bit of that creamy effect there. So maybe, whoopsie, maybe we want to add this bit of, vintage, crumbly, awesome ledger. Now we don't want it too close to the edge because it will continue to break off. So then maybe it's time to bring in, that almost looks mauve in comparison to that. We don't want to dilly-dally too much here. Maybe I need a bit of, okay, this is, if you watch, no, I don't know what you're going to see first. Oh, this was part, this is a very hairy little kid's dress. Girls, you know, toddler side, well, baby dress, probably, more accurately. I shouldn't have cut that down. It's too small. Save that for something else. Mind you, this long piece might do better here. Let's find another bit. Don't like triangles. So let's add this here. Maybe put the fringy side to the outside. Now, do we want to introduce some green? Or do we want to use something from the, oh, I forgot to show you these. These are teeny tiny little things that I punched out with those, I don't know, do you remember 100 years ago when Costco was selling that big blue carrying case full of those small punches? Well, I, of course, bought one because, hey, let's see how this, sorry if I've pulled it out of view. It almost seems like maybe I need some green. Most of it will be covered up, but you know what? Instead of putzing so much, why don't I just start gluing? So we know that the ledger, and I'm just for speed, I think I'm going to use the art glitter glue. I have it relatively close. I mean, very little of it extending past because I've already told you that it will continue to shatter. But we do want that 1938 visible, hopefully. So we can slap down this fabric. And, you know, if you don't agonize over every decision, this could be very quick. Let's just do that. Let's put, I should have, these little hairs that I cut, no, they're not hairs, but these little fibers that I cut off, I should have gotten rid of, and now I can barely see them. Did I glue that down? Yes, I did. Okay, so we will maybe do that. And then we'll put on a butterfly. And we'll call it a day. Oh, one thing that I didn't show you, and I probably didn't really pre-select either, is I thought I had, yeah, I didn't show you these laces that are kind of here and ready to use, or more of these. I made that little envelope, I believe. More of these sentiments. Oh, here's a tiny feather that somehow didn't get, and I could be, whoopsie. I could also be using some of this. Those are those alcohol ink things that I did. Oh, you know what? I have several things in here. I have purple beads that are waiting for action. I have these rolls of numbers. I have these tiny little, why did I keep these things together, I wonder? I think they were kind of in the sentiment. Oh, that's greenery. Sentiment. What am I trying to say here? Oh, this is off a book spine. It was a really kind of a big book. Oh, and these other things are obviously too long to use here. Anyway, I don't need to be actually pulling in more stuff. But I did want to just point this out. I cut all of these out of a damaged little golden book, one of those dictionary ones. And I made a couple of masterboards, or at least the base for masterboards. Now, this is that color, like so, or the other side is white. Now, do I want white, or do I want this? That almost seems lost on there, so let's put it on. And really, look at the size of those antennae and the little things on its wings and its little thorax. Oh, now we only have, do any of these work? Probably not. Okay, so when you put it down in that way, you see that, that's really the only creamy element there. That's the only black. So then I feel like, I need to repeat either the black. Now this is going to be a bit shiny perhaps, but wrong scissors. Let's do 5 5s. Where? Don't want it there. Do we want it there? And I could just to darken that. I mean, whoopsie, that doesn't want to stick. The end of the roll doesn't want to stick. Or maybe all of it doesn't want to stick. I could, just grunge that up a bit with my little paddle brush. I don't know if that's a good place. Maybe. Oops, straighten. Okay. Let's call, let's punch the hole. Yeah, let's do it here. So you want it to be kind of close enough to the edge so that, you know, you don't lose too much range of motion. Oh, let's get this rounded. And this. And even, no, let's not do that one. So you still have range of motion, but you're not so close to the edge of the paper, especially if it was thinner paper, that it could actually tear through. One, yay. Okay, we'll put that aside and we're going to speed up a bit here. She said, hopefully. Okay, on this one, I said that I was gluing. Okay, let's maybe put glue on this side. Determine maybe that is the it may be wrong, but at least it's consistent. That doesn't seem, whoops, that doesn't seem to want to hold very well. I'm not going to worry about it for now, though, because anything that I add on top of it will help hold it in place. And maybe we can do something at the bottom, because, of course, there will always be places. I mean, you know, these will not all turn out the same, size-wise, certainly. So what would be too big in one application could be just perfect in another. We'll put that there. I am kind of at this point trying to preserve those little fancy corners there, but they may get sacrificed as well. Oh, that's not holding worth a darn. Let's try that again. I should actually pull in my bone folder to press things down and not get my hands all gooey. Now, you're probably wondering, you're probably wondering, well, what is the difference between a dangle and a cluster? I guess the thing that maybe makes the biggest difference is that it, the dangle, the dangle dangles. Okay, these shouldn't be here because they're too big. Now, because this is fairly big, it can support a bigger focal point. Oh, maybe I should just use that because it's not backed, so it is, or this is nice too. Maybe I like this one better. So, even though we have some fibers there already, do I want to add perhaps, why don't I use some of these little things that came off that, you know, if you don't sort of, this might be a job for Fabri-Tac. If you don't, tape or stitch or glue the end of braid, it can all come apart in your hand. So I think I'm going to put this maybe a bit off center. I'm going to make a little blob of glue. I'm going to add some of these fibers. Now, because that circle is fairly big, it's going to cover a good portion of these. So maybe I'd better add a few more, have them sort of offset and going in the other direction. And, you know, because Kim gave this to me and because the color was so perfect, you know, I'm determined to use it. But back in the day, I had a weakness for these sorts of woven trims. And it was maybe a more ornate time in home decor. So I spent quite a bit of time and money buying, you know, cushion forms. And I had beautiful fabric and I had beautiful trim, and I was making all these decorative cushions. And, you know, the minute people come over to visit, the first thing that gets thrown off the Chesterfield, the sofa, is most of those cushions. That's, you know, kind of one of those things that it's sort of like back in the 50s. Apparently, some households kept all their plastic on their furniture. So I never lived in a house like that. But maybe my version of that would be the cushions that made it impossible to sit. But they looked great in photos. I'm just, because I had pre-rounded that and then added the corner, I'm just going to redefine this corner here. Now that is sweet. Now, one thing that I didn't bring into the mix here is any bling. So, of course, I could still add bling at any point. I try not to punch a hole dead center, because sometimes the weight is going to, you know, could pull it one way or the other. So I tend to deliberately be off center, pick a corner, one side or the other. Maybe this one I'll try to put a little closer to the edge. And oh, that's not closer to the edge. The heck. So at the end, I'll show you all of those. Oh, I did say that I was going to, when I had the art glitter glue flowing, I would do this guy too. Now I could, since I tore it that way, I could almost cover up that stitching, use both pieces, call it a day as far as that goes. Yeah, let's have the little scalloped edge visible, maybe top and bottom. I won't glue right to the edge because, or I can even offset it a bit since that was torn. So you see how that little scallopy thing kind of extends beyond on two sides. Now what do I want to do here? Maybe if I tore that, it wouldn't look so... Yeah, and maybe I'll put this other one on the side. That way, you know, all that laborious stitching did not, was for naught. Was not for naught. Was not for naught. Wasn't a waste of time, is what she's trying to say. Do you remember the Seinfeld episode where, and it may have been, there may have been more than one, in which I think it was George kept talking about himself in third person. It was kind of goofy. Let's do that. We don't necessarily want people trying to read it because it's probably nonsensical. That's pretty slippery. This is all fairly thick, I must say. So, You know, that too will determine where some of this stuff gets used. Now, I don't have my smaller punch outs here. But maybe let's just do some of these. Or maybe some of these little guys. Or do I want to put that on top of that? I could do that. If I'm making this thick, I might as well pull out all the stops. I guess I could have used art glitter glue on this because it will be fairly smooth now on this circle. Let's maybe offset this so it shows a bit more. And I think I'll cover that up and switch to this. Now, normally I would have taken the time to fussy cut closer to that, but now I have this teeny one. Whoops. Do I want to add that? Do I want to add a couple of those? Oh, looks like there are 3 sizes. Well, let's pretend we had that as a plan. So I hope that you are inspired to pull out all your teeny weeny stuff. Teeny weeny, itsy bitsy teeny weeny, and make some dangles. They're honestly like little mini collages. I don't know, I should have, yeah, let's slide this guy over a bit. Like mini collages. And who doesn't love collaging, and who doesn't want pretty quick results? I'm just covering up that glue for the time being. I could do it that way, I suppose, and it might be a bit less bulky. Then the stitches still, yeah, let's do it upside down. Turn this thing on its head. Want to try to get closer. Maybe I should try to find a black one this time. Reinforce the the notion of the black stitching. That's pretty cute too. Now, who knows, maybe at some point I would. That has black stitching on it, or it looks like stitching. That's overkill. Okay, let's do something with this. Don't like that straight edge. So this is photo paper. Of course, I've got stuff stuck to me. Let us also bring in some of this. Although maybe that's not quite as good together as I thought. Okay, maybe let's practice on this one. I don't like how that's scuffed. Oh, maybe that's the nature of the beast. Probably the gun makes that mark. So obviously I'm going to use the side that is not all. Am I going to let that be my... Maybe this has to be behind here. Okay, let's tear this off. I should be tearing it this way, and then I get the white edge. If you tear towards yourself, you expose the white edge, and that in itself can be a design element. This is a bit ratty here, so that's where it was glued together to make a circle. Let's make that irregular. Maybe that is not needed here. Or maybe, well, I need some contrast in between. I don't have all those too beigey. Got that, but maybe that's not the greatest thing ever. How about some of this fabric? Oh, look, here's some tulle that was on there. Like the frayed edge. Oh. Okay. Maybe let's make this. I better start making some smaller stuff because honestly, these are getting kind of big. Oh, I didn't want to tear that in that direction. Probably not going to tear that way either. But look at how I've gungied that up. Or, well, not gunge, but, you know, made it more interesting. Do we want that there? Cover that scallop edge on that little portion cup. Maybe I need to cover up that hole. Maybe I need to round this corner. Oh, can I get it in there? There's almost nothing to grab onto here. Lost forever. Okay, look at me just free-handing this. Who said I'm not daring? Okay. Yoy, this stuff is moving so much. Okay, that's good. Well, let's try our glitter glue just for the speed of it. Going to do that. That sticks out quite a bit. We're going to do, okay, we wanted the hole. I wanted the hole covered. Oh, I probably put too much glue because, yes, because that is going to be extending beyond. And then, what the heck is this? Did I touch it with gluey fingers? It would seem that way. Too bad, but okay. So I like this white edge against this dark color here. Oh, so I rounded the corners except the one that is going to be, yikes. So I'm going to glue it that way. And again, it doesn't, you know, just because I'm being kind of anal about it doesn't mean you have to be. Oh, it's a good thing I'm covering that up. Look how the art glitter glue soaked through the fabric. Now we almost can't see those polka dots anymore. Now it seems that a focal point of some sort is required. So I do have, that's probably introducing a different purple, but maybe if I'd get away with that if I just did that. Or I do have this little, now of course it's not a true purple like in this but it's still cute. There's no denying that. And again, you know, I am perfectly well aware. Oh, brother. I hope Roy is there to answer it because it's not for me, that's for sure. I am perfectly well aware that, sorry about that, guys. Enough! I am perfectly well aware that if you had all of this stuff, this identical stuff on your desk, your results would be totally different from mine. And that is as it should be. So again, when something is kind of amorphous like this, I can punch the hole anywhere I want, but I think that, whoa, look at all these things sticking together. I think I want it maybe I want it right there. That isn't what I would have guessed I would have chosen, but hey, I can fool myself sometimes, or surprise myself too sometimes. So I should check to the time to see how long we've been at this. So far, we only have 4 done, but admittedly, I am kind of chatty. Oh, we're almost at the hour mark. Okay, let me glue these last 2 guys. And obviously, I am going to continue this after you're gone. Okay. So we're gluing this down this side because that's the most boring part of the background. Gluing it in such a way that that little scalloped edge extends beyond. Same scenario here. Maybe that I should put it on this side so that the number, that 10,000, is visible, should I choose to let it be visible. Oh, I didn't use any of these. No, I don't know that I really like that bluey gray. Mind you, it would work on this one because there is some blue there. You know what? I was going to cut that little knobby thing off at the top, but why don't I just put a flower there instead? Like so. This feels like it needs more something, more something. How about this something? Let's cut this here. Maybe we won't use that. We'll put this down here. Let's put the ratty edge out. Now that is going to be a problem, making that curly thing stick. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And again, if in the final application this something sticks out or is the wrong shape or whatever, it can always be trimmed. Oh my goodness. Art glitter glue, don't let me down now. Let's just use this fast like, whoa. I said ratty edge out. Okay, now we have some grab. I probably didn't get it all the way down to the end. Now, am I trying a little too hard to preserve that pink flower down there? Perhaps. It looks to me, it looks a little cockeyed and funny that I have just put that stuff on two sides. Now this is probably not going to hold either, but we'll give it a shot. And we'll quickly, there's a stray thread, we'll quickly glue this down to help it hold. Okay. And we will quickly glue this down. Oh, I see I tore that as I was pulling it out of the little pad. No one will ever know. Now, this would be, but I don't have the time. I won't take the time to look for a little micro label. But that is darn cute. Darn cute. Maybe I'll put the hole on this side for a change, just to shake things up a bit. We'll add a bulb pin, and you know that the next time you see this, it will probably have a sentiment or a tag or a number or something. This is too yellow and too dark. Oh, or how about one of these guys? Is this going to be too much? Maybe not. Maybe not. That you can see, I was really pushing my luck there. So half of that is cut off. So of course we have to butt that up to the edge of this little contraption, this little concoction, this little construction. So it looks like, oh, wasn't that clever the way she cut that? Never did use any of these tags. Now, do I have to do another one of these to make some impact here? It almost feels like I don't have any more of them pulled out, but I could find more. It almost seems like this reinforces the darkness of that trim. So let's just slap another one of these on. And then I'll find a third one. Maybe do a bit of layering there. So whoops. So it looks a bit like a little whatever. Okay, so you know this one needs a third flower. Let's finish this guy up. One thing I didn't use are book guts. Now this is pretty thick. Let's see if I can quickly separate some of this, reduce some of the bulk. Not very quickly by the looks of it. Leave that for another time. There's no green there, but you know, if we're scrap busting here, I just very effectively turned one scrap into two. And you wonder why we never get ahead of the game. This feels like it needs to be smaller and more ragged. Again, would a person be able to tear book cloth if it wasn't ancient? Maybe that can stay. I'll put that there. Oh, better use glue stick because I don't want anything seeping through here. I don't, again, I'm just really doing a lot of videotapes, and if I haven't seen or commented on your video lately, you know, just know that I'm aware that I'm behind, and I am trying to do a bit of catch up, but I'm also trying to really get a number of videos in a slush pile and scheduled, because March is a busy month for me. A couple of conferences, or at least, no, I guess one is in April. One conference that my husband is attending that I will be tagging along with. And then my junket, and there's no other way to describe it, my junket to Winnipeg to meet my buddy, Kim, and some, I guess at least maybe one of my subbies will also be there. I think there might be other Manitoba people there that are subbies of mine. So that will be a thrill to meet some people who are supporting me through watching and commenting and so on, and maybe even the Happy Mail movement. That's a wee bit lumpy there, but that's okay. And do I want to further layer this? But then I'll cover up some good stuff. Maybe the numbers there are the least. Well, I could cover up part of that. See, again, turn one scrap into multiples. I think that I need this Fabri-Tac for that. in case you haven't already figured it out, Fabri-Tac flows better. Oh, first of all, this is a Sugar Bell bottle that I've decanted some of it into, along with the, this is like a piping, you know, for cake decorating, a piping end on it. See, I'm trying to split the difference here. We still have some of the marks of the little tape measure, and we still have some of that little numbers showing. That's called having your cake and eating it too. Anyway, our glitter glue flows better when the bottle is fuller. So I try to keep it relatively topped up. Now, this is actually, this was a ticket shape to begin with, so I'm just, going to try to do that, to restore that. Okay, so a ticket is also a good base. See, I can use this later. I don't know. Does it need a focal point, or is it just hunky-dory the way it is? Why do I not seem to have more blushy stuff here? Or maybe I need to put, what is this? Is that like a steampunky thing with some gears or something? I'll try our glitter glue on this one. And then I better stop. But you know, I'm tempted to keep going for the rest of the day. Okay, and frankly, when I have pulled out so much stuff, it behooves me to keep going, whether you're here or not. Let's put the hole in that corner this time. So I want to thank you for being here, for sticking it out with me this long. I hope that it has inspired you to do your own thing, because I'm sure you were probably thinking to yourself, well, why doesn't she put this and this together? Geez. Okay, let's make a little room here and show you what has been done. Oh, see, and I didn't even add a button to anything. You can see how this could go on forever. And I would never, ever let you go. Ever. This sharp corner kind of bugs me. Okay. Okay. This is kind of funky. But again, it's for a different project, so it's okay. Now, these guys are not that small. I think when I continue, I'm going to make this my overall size. And if it doesn't totally match what I need right this second, that's okay. Look how cute that is. Oh, I want to put on a green. I could put that on there, and we can call it done. And then we can say that we actually did do something that was really tiny. Oh, why didn't I put it on the flower? And again, because this was a die cut, it's got sort of that scallopy edge there. Oh, it already grabbed. Too late for me to move it. I could keep that 5 visible, but hey, maybe not. I have some of this sheer netting. So I'm going to, okay, so about like so, we'll have glue on it. So why don't I put this on here, and it will automatically now I need to add a wee bit more, but it will be, whoa, don't go that far. It will be, whoops, it will be sandwiched on, oh dear, sandwiched between the little coupon. Now that covers up too much of that, so I'm going to have to. I could make it go over there with a speck of glue and a wing and a prayer. Okay. Never let it be said that I didn't do at least one mini. One mini. Now, I guess I could have chosen to cover that hole in the tag. And done my offset. I love them. And I'm going to keep going. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me. I'm sorry that this took as long as it did. But you know, that's sort of the name of the game. When you're having fun, time flies. So thank you for joining me, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.